Are you a first-time homebuyer in Alberta, but you're unsure of the process and you're not sure where to start? Not to worry, I'm here to help. Hi, I'm Patrick Murray, Patrick Murray Realty, realtor with Coldwell Banker Mountain Central. I release a new video every Sunday morning about all things Calgary, inner city, and family friendly, along with some great real estate related information. So make sure you click that subscribe button to get your weekly dose of the Calgary inner city. I remember buying my first home before I was in real estate. Heck, I remember buying my second home before I was in real estate. You know what? I was really green. I really didn't know what in the world I was doing. I wasn't totally sure of the process, and I was quite untrusting. And you know, something about me is I can be stubborn, and I wish that I had reached out to a real estate professional from the get-go so I knew what I was doing better. So I don't want you feeling your way through the wilderness of real estate, unsure where you're going. So today I'm going to talk about the process so that you can move ahead in confidence. Now, there are hundreds of things I'm doing behind the scenes for my buyer clients, but for the purpose of simplicity, I'm going to break down the home buying process into 7 steps. Step 1 is to find your real estate professional. Now, there are a few avenues you could take as you start the process to purchasing a home, but I'm going to recommend that you find a great realtor to start with, because realtors not only find you a home, but we educate you on the process, point you in the right direction, and refer you to the right professionals throughout the entire transaction. So having a great realtor is really key, and it's the cornerstone of your transaction as you move forward to purchasing a home. Now, there are lots of realtors in Calgary, so I'm going to recommend that you find a realtor that you like and trust. I don't want to hear that you're unhappy with your realtor or that you had a bad experience. Communication is key. Find somebody that communicates well, somebody that's listening to you, somebody that's going to give you the information, and somebody you like, because that's part of communication as well. Many home buyers fear that they're going to have to pay out of pocket immediately just for having a conversation with a realtor, and that's just not true. So in the vast majority of cases, you don't pay us out of pocket. We're paid through the proceeds of the sale by the seller or the seller's brokerage. So don't be afraid to contact a realtor to sit down to discuss the process at no obligation to you. Step number 2, find out about the money. All right, so you've got some savings, you've got a great job, and you want to buy a home, but how much can you spend? Well, in Alberta, our license as realtors precludes us from giving you financial advice. That's a different license held by a mortgage broker or a lender. But what we can do is point you in the direction to connect you with a terrific mortgage broker or lender to assist you with your needs. Now, there are some various programs that you might qualify for as a first-time home buyer. For example, in Calgary, there's a first-time home buyers assistance program to assist you with a down payment. Edmonton has a first-time home buyers program, and the federal government has some grants and programs available to first-time home buyers as well. So let your realtor connect you with a great lender to have that conversation. Besides talking with you about how much your interest rate is going to be, your lender is going to assist you to find the right mortgage product for you and your family that fits your lifestyle, and you're going to know exactly how much you can spend on a home. Step number 3, the search. Okay, this is where it really starts to get fun, and fun for me personally, and fun for buyers, because this is when you actually get to go out and look at homes, and there's a real excitement in the air over this. So what's going to happen is you're going to sit down with your real estate professional, you're going to talk about the price of the homes you're looking for, the neighborhoods, and what you're looking for in a home. Your realtor is going to set you up on a search, and then when you find homes that are of interest, you're going to go out together and you're going to look at them. Now, if your realtor is anything like me, they're going to walk through the property with you. They're going to point out some of the pros of the property and some of the cons, and maybe some of the concerns that realtor may have about the property that they want to bring to your attention. And not all cons are bad. These are just things that we want to make sure we're doing our due diligence with should you want to make an offer on the property. Now, your criteria may change as we do the search, and that's okay because we want to make sure you are 100% happy. And for me personally, I want to sleep well knowing that you found a home that you absolutely love. Step number 4 is the offer. Okay, so there's still lots of excitement here with the offer, but this is where you start to get those nerves coming into play as well, and that's okay. This is what it's all about. So how do you know when you found the one? Well, I compare finding the one a lot to dating. So remember when you found your partner or that person that you fell in love with, so let's compare it to a home. You start thinking about that home. You can't stop thinking about that home. You're dreaming about being in that home. You're dreaming about redecorating it. You're losing sleep and you're giddy all at the same time. Ladies and gentlemen, you have found the one. All right, so what happens next? So now you and your realtor are going to sit down and you're going to draft an offer to purchase. And in this offer, there's going to be, the price you're going to offer to the seller. There's going to be some conditions for due diligence, such as property inspection. If you require a mortgage, you want to make sure you have a financing condition in there, because even though the lender has approved you or pre-approved you to purchase a home, they want to make sure that you're still approved and your credit is still good and everything's still okay. And at the same time, they want to approve the property that you're purchasing. And there's going to be other things like move-in date, that sort of thing in there. And now your realtor is going to put those negotiation skills to work to try to get you the best deal possible. And the hope is that we come to a middle ground where you and your family are willing to accept the purchase of home, while at the same time the seller is willing to accept your conditional offer to purchase. Step number 5, accepted offer. Now what? All right, so this is when the clock starts ticking. Once your offer is accepted, you are now in a conditional purchase contract if you have conditions or due diligence to do. And you really need to get started on these things because there is a timeline to your due diligence. So timelines can be anywhere from 4 to 5 days to 2 weeks roughly, depending on the property and also depending on the market in your area at that time. So some of the conditions you might have, of course, if you have that financing condition or you need a mortgage, you need that financing condition. It gives your lender time to do their due diligence on you and the property. Your realtor is going to help you to find a terrific home inspector to inspect the property to make sure you go into your purchase with eyes wide open. And there could be other conditions as well. So for example, if you're buying a condominium, there might be a condominium documents review, and your realtor can assist you with connecting with a great condominium documents review specialist. And depending on the property, again, there could be a whole bunch of other inspections. Not to worry, that's why you're working with a real estate professional. We're going to hold your hand and walk you through the entire way. Now, if you're happy with everything, you're going to waive those conditions and your contract is going to go firm. And if you're unhappy with your offer to purchase and you're not happy with the conditions, you're not going to waive those conditions and you're going to get your deposit back and you're going to keep looking until you find the next right one. Step number 6, firm sale, you're moving. All right, so this is exciting. Now you've waived all your conditions, your contract is firm, congratulations, you're buying a house. So the next steps are you're going to sit down with your lender and fill out some paperwork. And you also need to connect with a lawyer because in Alberta, it is required that you utilize the services of a lawyer to close the transaction in real estate. Now, I always recommend that you utilize a real estate lawyer, somebody that's familiar with the process, so that you can be confident that they know the steps required and that they're going to properly protect you through the transaction. Again, this is where your real estate professional can assist you with connecting with that right lawyer. And now you're gonna have to transfer all your services, get ready to move, pack, and all that stuff, find movers, get your phone and utilities transferred over. And in my business, I have a concierge service for my buyer clients to assist you with all of those items. Step number 7, the move-in. All right, so this is a great day. So personally, what I like to do is the day before possession, the day before you move in, I like to go through the property with my buyer clients. And I just want to make sure that everything is present per the contract and everything's in good condition as we expect it to be. And I write this in as a term in the purchase contract before we submit it to the seller originally, so we can make sure we tick this box off. Now on possession day, what's going to happen is your lawyer is going to wait to receive funds from your lender. Once they're received, they're going to transfer those funds to the seller's lawyer, and then they're going to release keys, and congratulations, you get to move into your home. Now, I tell you, this is also a spectacular day. While I like the search, I really like passing keys along to my clients, because this is when our efforts, our teamwork, our collaboration all comes together and you move in to your first home. I hope you found this video of assistance to you. Please do click that like button. And if you are considering purchasing a home, do make sure you get my book, The Home Buyer's Playbook, the play-by-play for a successful purchase. It is available on Amazon and on Kindle, but it's available for you here as a free download. The link is below in the description. Hey, I'm Patrick Murray with Patrick Murray Realty, realtor with Coldwell Banker Mountain Central. I hope to see you real soon.